Boys and girls, and welcome to Bible Story Corner. Today, we're going to talk about what we believe, things that we believe, and we believe. And we will have a Bible story in just a moment. So, the first thing that I'd like to talk about is this word believe. What is something that you know is true? Would you like to talk to your family for just a moment? Think about that. What is something you know is true? Oh, I can't wait to find out more about what you discovered about something you know is true. Something that I know is true is that the sun rises each day. That's something that we know is true. Now, sometimes we can see it because it's sunny outside. Sometimes we don't because it's cloudy outside. But the sun does go up in the sky each day, even if we don't see it. So it's something that I know is true. So, what does it mean to believe something? It means that we accept something as true, and we believe things that we are completely sure of. The sun rises in the morning, and guess what? It sets in the evening. Now, talk for a minute with your family about some things that you believe. Okay, boys and girls, I can't wait to find out what you've discovered about what you believe. Today's story is going to come from our Bible, and you can read about it or ask your family to read it with you. It's from the book of Luke, which is in the New Testament. And we'll start at the end of the 23rd chapter, and we'll go through the beginning of the 24th chapter. So here we go. It was a sad day for the people who loved Jesus. There were some other people who did not believe that Jesus was God's son, and they put Jesus on a cross to die. People thought they would not see Jesus again. There was one man among these who was a friend of Jesus. His name was Joseph. And Joseph asked if he could take Jesus' body off the cross and wrap it in cloth. So Joseph put Jesus' body in a tomb. Now, a tomb is a cave for burying dead people. And a big stone was nearby to be rolled over the opening to close the tomb. Now, some women who were friends of Jesus watched as Joseph put Jesus' body in the tomb. And once the big rock was moved over the opening, so the tomb was closed, Joseph and the women went to their homes. All of this happened on a Friday before the sun went down. Saturday was the Sabbath. It was the one day of each week that was set aside to rest and worship God. All day Saturday, no one went to the tomb where Jesus was buried. And as the sun was coming up on Sunday morning, the women took spices to the tomb to go and put them on Jesus. Because in those days, people put spices and perfume on dead bodies both before and after they buried them. Now, the women might have planned to ask some people to help them move the stone so they could go inside the tomb. But when they arrived, what a sight they saw! They were so surprised to see that the stone was already moved away. And they went into the tomb, but Jesus was not in the tomb. They didn't know what had happened to Jesus' body. Well, suddenly, two angels appeared. 1, 2. And they spoke to the women. The women were very afraid, and the angel said to the women, "Jesus is alive. He's not here. He has risen. And remember how he told you he would be raised from the dead?" That is what happened. Now the women remembered what Jesus had said and how he would die on the cross and be raised to life again. So the women went to tell the disciples what they saw and heard. At first, the disciples didn't believe that Jesus was alive. And one of the disciples named Peter ran as fast as he could toward the tomb. And he saw for himself that Jesus was no longer there. Peter saw that the tomb was empty, and he wondered what had happened to Jesus. Later, Peter did see Jesus. And then Peter believed that Jesus was truly alive. The women were right. Jesus was alive. Soon the other disciples, the other women, and others saw Jesus too, and they all believed that Jesus was now alive again. Jesus will always be alive. He was put on a cross to die, and then Jesus was buried. But God the Father raised Jesus from the dead, and the Bible tells us that Jesus is alive. Jesus died and is alive again. Last week, we sang the song, Stop and Let Me Tell You. This week, we're going to sing the song, Go and Tell the Story, because that's the command that Jesus gave us. We should go and tell the story of what Jesus has done for us. So you can learn the words to the song by repeating the video as often as you need to, and then sing along with me if you'd like. It goes like this. Go and tell the story of Christ of Calvary. Go and tell the story of Christ of Calvary. He'll forgive your sins and he'll save your soul. He'll cleanse your heart and he'll make you whole. So go and tell the story of Christ of Calvary. We'll see you next week, boys and girls.